There's a third way of creating openings. That's a more flexible way of doing things, and that's with a curtain wall. Curtain wall is a system of glazing panels that's organized around frame a series of mullions, right? In its simplest form, a rectangular opening would be a rectangle with mullions that just frame the perimeter of the window. So what we're going to do is we're gonna draw on the third floor. And let me describe what we're going to draw by drawing it with detail lines and then showing you how it would be done. So I know that 2D detail lines, the simple line type are green, right? So let's say I wanted the outline of this window opening. Be something like that. And on top of it would be an arch. It looks something like that. Oops. Let me pin this in place so that doesn't happen again. So those lines that I just drew represent the shape of the window opening that I wish to draw. And then I can use that and copy it and paste it and replicate it at whatever intervals I need on that floor. So I'm going to select those lines and just cut them, copy them to the clipboard so that my computer has them in memory now. Let's show you how this works. I'm going to go to the third floor plan. So we're going to try to draw into this corner. Level 3. That's the wall, and this is the corner I want to draw into. You can see the opening beyond it. Architecture wall, curtain wall type 1. Edit the type and make sure that it's this automatically embed is checked. Right? So I'm drawing in plan view from here to there, say 6 feet. I don't remember what that was. Okay. And it creates an opening in that wall because it automatically embeds it. Unconnected height, 21 feet, that's no good. Right, so I will want to modify the properties of that. But for now, let's just see what we drew by default. So I'm going to go back to that view. And there I can see it. It's way too tall. If I change the view to shaded, you can see that that's what I've drawn. So it's about the right width. It looks like it starts in about the right place. That's too tall. Let's move the mouse over and tab to select it, changing the height of it. Right? Changing the where the sill begins. Right? So it's just a big piece of glass. But here's the power in that. So I can actually move my mouse over, select curtain wall, and click on edit profile. And now this allows me to take the shape and modify it as if it were any other type of architectural element that's defined by its boundaries, by its shape, right? Except I'm drawing in elevation. That is a really powerful, fast way to create an arched windows with no strings attached. Now, it's a little trickier to select that. Let's see if we can cut and paste. Paste again. I'm drawing in elevation, right? So I'm going to need to modify the properties of that. Didn't quite move it horizontally. Not worried about the mullions and the grill and the different parts of all that. So let's look at our 3D view and see what we're drawing. The beauty of that is that it already has some glass associated with it, right? If I go into shaded, I could see those openings. It's giving me those openings. I'm going to save this model. This is going to be lesson 6. I believe it's lesson 6. Lesson 6. And call this the power of curtain walls. Power of, which are basically assemblies of glass panels that are framed by mullions, and you can control the shape and configuration and intervals of those mullions. So I'm pretty sure by now we have all we need to prototype the interior environment. We have the exterior walls. We have a forest of columns inside the building that are rather messy right now, but who cares? And we have a strategy to deal with every kind of opening that we see, and a series of embedded images of those elevations that we can use to trace the openings in question. So if I go back to that, not this elevation, but the, I can't remember what it was, East Courtyard, no, West Courtyard, right? You can see I start drawing this. Once you have a strategy for how to do that, the rest of it is pretty much done. It's just a matter of executing it, right? So this is some kind of full height door. That one, a little bit difficult to pick, but if I can edit the profile of that instance, right? And just drag it down to the level. Remove constraints, who cares? Right? So that one is now a full height opening. And since that's the third floor, once we have these openings in place, we can position ourselves on that third floor and model the natural light that's going to be coming through those windows at that exposure at any given time of day. Not necessary to use that for the rectangular openings. I would use a simple window. I can draw in elevation, architecture, window, fixed, I think we called it, all right, let's just pick 36 by 48. That's going to be fine for those openings. That's just a fixed window for those openings, right? We just want something. I don't know if this one is the same size. It might be bigger, but who cares? We'll just use that. That's a clock. I don't know what we're going to do with that, but you know. And the important thing about Revit is you can change these things. If you decide there's a better way of modeling that rectangular opening, you just select that element, use the type selector and switch the type. Get a different window type. I'm drawing an elevation, so I'm drawing on top of the level 2 walls. All right, my 3D view is going to show me the stuff that I'm drawing. The model is in my handouts folder, so you can avail yourself of this model. I recognize that it's a bit more complex than maybe you bargained for. Don't worry about it. Use it. Don't lose sight of the fact that all you're trying to do is prototype that interior environment that is going to scaffold your and frame your design intervention. So I made this a deliberately short lesson so you can watch it independently and get something from it and have this illustration to go with it so you understand where we're going with this. Okay. The next time you see this model, it'll probably have all the necessary openings in place.